Is happiness more important than success? In today's video, I'm gonna go over all the mistakes I've made around it and then my ideology, so hopefully you can form your opinion about it and lead a better life as a result. So first, we have to understand the success and happiness and defining those terms, because what do those things really mean? So when it comes to happiness versus success, which leads to a more fulfilling life? And when I say the word happiness, what I'm going to refer to is trait happiness, not state happiness. I reject state happiness. And what I mean by state happiness, I mean it's like when you get good news or you feel like you're on that emotional high. Chasing that and wanting that all the time is unrealistic as a human, because it is not normal to only feel happy. As a human, I found that I should accept all of my emotions, madness, sadness, happiness, whatever, and execute regardless with those emotions. The happiness that I'm referring to and the happiness that I chase or I align myself with is trait happiness. Rather, a longer time horizon happiness. I'm not happy in the moment to get up and go to the gym. I'm not happy in the moment to build my business, but over a long time horizon, I feel satisfied and I feel like I'm making a difference, and that's how I define trait happiness. To me, the way I think of trait happiness is making the most out of my life. The way I think of state happiness is that feeling of joy or that emotional high. So I want to define that so the rest of the video you understand what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about trait happiness. From there, also with success, you have to be really careful when it comes to chasing success, especially if you're only chasing fame and money. If you're only chasing those two things, the problem is sometimes that can lead to a miserable lifestyle. Now, I'm not going to speak for everybody, because Alex Hormozi, who is one of my favorite mentors, he loves chasing money, but I think he loves the work he's doing, and the money is just an outcome or a byproduct of that, and he's deprived of it, and that creates motivation, because he explains that deprivation from a psychological sense comes from the comparison point you have, so he compares himself to people much further than him, creating that deprivation and that motivation to succeed. So with success, you want to be careful chasing fame and money. You want to make sure you have a reason for it, whether that's you love to win, you love to compete, you love to make a difference, your purpose, whatever it is, you just want to be careful of these things. So I want to mention that as well. And the third and final piece, when we're talking about happiness and success, you want to look at true fulfillment and what that means to you. So for me, it's making the most out of my life and also chasing my impact that I want to make. And currently the impact I'm trying to fulfill is helping 16 to 18-year-olds go from victim to victor so they can live a life on your terms. And not only 16 to 18-year-olds, but everybody really, but that's who I'm coaching specifically. And I make these videos for everybody to work on their mindset and take action so they can live life on their terms. So for me, what it looks like is 75%, 25%, happiness. So 75% is success and making impact and purpose, and 25% is happiness or focusing on that, just because I have the fundamental belief that I have been happy in good times and I've been happy in bad times. And so for me, it's all about just executing regardless of my emotions, but I do want that trait happiness over a long time period where I feel really good in the direction I'm moving in. So I just wanted to define those terms really quick and what you want to chase or what you want to compare them at least in my opinion and in my experience. So the second piece is, now we've kind of defined those terms. We've walked through what the happiness we're talking about and what the success we're talking about is. And again, you may define those terms differently, totally okay. But now it is time for you to define those terms and what you want out of life. So when defining those terms, it's really important that you define what you want and how you define it. Instead of, a lot of us can get caught up in chasing what our friends would value or what our parents would value or what society would value. Like I mentioned earlier, that money, that fame, that society would value or your friends would value, and it's what you define. So the easiest way to think about this is, if you moved 1,000 miles away, what are the things you'd work on? Because if you moved 1,000 miles away, you would be completely separate from the people you're around today, so they wouldn't have their influence over you. And if you want to take a step further, think about if you were living remote, away from society completely, what would you work on? For me, I wholeheartedly believe I would still be coaching people, because that is what I want to do, and that is the impact I want to make. So you want to make sure that you're defining it on your terms, not anybody else's. So once you've defined it, you also want to look at your values. So for me, excellence, self-growth, impact are some of my top values, and that's the things that I chase in life and I live by. But for you, you have to look at your values, because what's more important to you in life isn't what's most important to me. Maybe you're 75% happiness and 25% success. You want to really just enjoy every moment in life and take life as it comes, build great relationships, build a great family. That's great, but you just have to define your values. Maybe it's fun, maybe it's family, maybe it is fame, maybe it is money, but just look at your values, define them, because then you'll make a better decisions as a result. The thing I want to preach in these videos, it's not what I think, it's not what everybody else thinks. You have to kind of create your own model of the world, understand what you truly want and what would be making the most out of your life. And that leads me to the next point, is making the most out of your life. You'll be most satisfied when you feel like you are taking up all the time you have here, because our time is limited. So you want to make sure that you're going 100% in whatever that is. Maybe it's 100% family, 100% fun, 100% success, whatever it is. You want to be going all in on those things because we do have limited time. So for me, it is impact, doing my best and winning. Those are my things that I want to go 100% on. Those are the things that are most important to me. For you, maybe it's relationships, but it is defining what is most important for you in life, and then you'll be able to define, okay, do I want happiness, do I want success, a combination of both? When making the most out of your life, you do want to find your balance, however that looks like to you. And I'm not talking about that work-life balance bullshit, unless you want that. If you want that, great. I'm more talking about the balance between, do you want to be on the success spectrum, do you want to be on the happiness, because it is a spectrum. It's not, I want happiness more, I want success. It's how much do you want on that spectrum. So if you look at Hormozi, if you're familiar who he is, Alex Hormozi, he's really into business and he works all the time on his businesses, and he's a very successful dude. Like, I think he's like $200 million net worth or something like that by age 32. Dude is a killer. And the thing is that it looks like he's all success, but I truly believe that he loves what he does. And he wasn't always like that for him. He didn't always like what he did. I don't want to speak for him or anything like that. But for him, his life looks like just business and success all the time, but he loves it. And so if you can find what you love, and I will say with a caveat with that, you don't always need to love something, because if you're just starting, you're probably not gonna love it. For me, starting this email marketing, starting this sales, I didn't love it at first, and I still don't completely love it. But you wanna find your balance to find something you love, because I believe it makes it more easier to pursue that thing. With that being said, the last piece is, what's your purpose? If you can find your purpose and align your action with that, you'll be able to go further and accomplish more. At least I believe that so far in my life. And you need to be able to work without a purpose as well. Sometimes you may be lost in life. Sometimes you may be doing things that aren't in line with your purpose, but you still need to execute regardless. For me, examples that email marketing. Does that really align with my purpose? No, but it's what's necessary for me to get to my purpose, and I have to work without it. So what I have been able to find is that when I have that purpose in the back of my mind, I'm doing that email marketing, I'm like, you know what? This isn't really in line with my purpose, but if I just think about, I was in the hospital when I was 17 for some serious suicidal ideation, but I truly believe it's the best thing that ever happened to me. And in that, I saw a lot of people in there that I really thought I could help. And so nowadays, when I'm doing my email marketing, those people just sit in the back of my head. I think, this is for them. This is so I can get in front of those people so I can change their life. And so for me, it helps me go longer. That's just what has worked for me. Maybe it doesn't work for you, but when I align with my purpose, I align with what I love, it helps me do more. And I don't have to always love the things I do, still execute regardless, but it has helped me along the way. So with that, that's kind of, is happiness more important than success? I'd say the main message is you got to define that for yourself. No one else can define that for you. You've got to find your balance. As I said earlier, mine's probably 75% success, 25% happiness, but that's just me. If you guys like this video, please comment and I'll make more.